Hi guys, this video is going to be predictions for your sign, having to do with the Great Conjunction that is happening. The Great Conjunction is when Jupiter and Saturn conjunct each other at the same degree on December 21st, 2020, and it only happens every 20 years. It's going to be happening in Aquarius, which hasn't happened since 1405, and we haven't had air sign conjunctions except for a brief time period in 1980 for 200 years. So this is a significant conjunction, and I wanted to do predictions for each of the signs. You can watch based off of your sun sign or your rising sign, either one. You can watch both, see which one you relate to more. I will leave timestamps. So before we get into each of the signs, let's just talk about the planets that we are kind of looking at and the sign energy that's going on. So we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, of growth, of luck, of success, of higher knowledge, of philosophy, of religion, of spirituality. And why can I never say that word? But it's our understanding of things. And Jupiter often teaches us lessons and wants us to expand and grow. At the same time, though, Jupiter has to do with overindulgence, laziness, letting opportunities pass us by, greed. So there are some downsides to Jupiter as well. We also have the Saturn energy, which has to do with time, tradition, restrictions, limitations, authority, wisdom, and learning through our efforts and our challenges in life in order to grow. So both of these planets do want us to ultimately grow. I think one of them is often associated, Saturn, with being a little bit of a harsher presence, but I do think Jupiter can put us through the ringer as well. Just maybe not quite as intensely as Saturn and for quite as long periods of time. So then we have this Aquarius energy coming into play. We have not had Jupiter or Saturn in Aquarius for quite some time. I mean, Saturn had a brief stay in Aquarius back in March of this year, but in terms of being, steadily in Aquarius, it's been a while. What significance is this going to have for each of your signs? And I also am going to be focusing on a couple aspects that they will be making. So when you have a sextile between, say, Jupiter and the moon, this can bring about new opportunities. It can bring about luck, having optimism, feeling better about certain decisions in our lives. So it's actually a really positive aspect that's happening for that. And at the same time, we have a sextile Saturn to the moon. So with that sextile, you kind of want to work on building up your life to be more how you want it without putting in the effort, but without wasting your time. So let's start with Aries. Hi Aries. So what is going to be happening with you? What is the significance of this great conjunction in your life? You guys are going to be having the great conjunction occur in your 11th house. So there will be a focus not only on your social life and your friendships, but the 11th house has a lot to do with your hopes, your wishes, your goals, your dreams in life. And that's going to be something that you're going to really start to want and need more clarity on. You're going to find a better understanding of what it is that you want to pursue in life. You will have a better understanding of your friendships. It might be something that you want to work on. If you've had any issues with friends, you might around this time want to work on that. And you're going to have that sextile to the moon in your 12th house. So you're definitely going to have this opportunity for new understandings, things being brought to light, perhaps secrets or things that you just, were hidden from you for some reason are brought to light. You're more willing to be open to things, like the truth in certain situations. Again, you might be focusing in not only on friendships, but also on your community in some type of way. You might get more involved in different communities or groups, stuff along those lines, maybe in a bigger picture, maybe in a smaller, close to home type of way. But your goals in life is going to be something that you're going to have more clarity of what you want. During this time, this great conjunction will bring you more clarity of, okay, what do I want? What do I, maybe you've been going back and forth. Maybe you've had multiple goals. Maybe you haven't been 100% passionate, but now you're going to start to find more understanding of yourself and what you want to pursue, what your dreams in life are, which is really great. And again, you may get involved in a group pursuit of some type during this time, but you're going to have a lot of energy to pursue, the truth and the understanding of yourself, of others. It's going to be very beneficial, and you're going to have more understanding at levels that you didn't know was possible in a lot of different ways. A lot of clarity is going to come your way. And again, I think it's going to be a really great time for figuring out what you want, maybe not what other people want, focusing on a direction you want to go in life, refocusing on a direction that you want to head towards, having new hopes and dreams, having new energy, being re-energized to accomplishing goals that you have for yourself. Okay, now let's move on to Taurus. And hi, Taurus. This is going to be your predictions for the Great Conjunction and how it's going to affect your life. So for Taurus, we have the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction happening in your 10th house, the house of career, of, your public persona, of how you are seen by the public. So you're going to want to restructure anything regarding your career or your aspirations for a future career. Even if you're not at the point of having a job yet, but you're still in school, you're going to kind of restructure your focus on what exactly it is that you want to do. So you might pursue a new path. You might just have more inclination to go down the path you're already going. You have more of a resolve to do that. You have more focus, more energy at that level. Now you have a sextile with the moon in the 11th house. So you have a further understanding of what direction you want to go in life. This is going to be a great time for you to pursue goals, especially related to your career specifically. You're going to have opportunities to maybe get a new job or have a promotion, something along those lines. It's possible that you might put yourself out into the public in some way in order to make money. So money, you might have a raise, you might get a promotion. It's a good time in terms of stuff like that, but it's also a good time for you guys to understand exactly what you want, And if you're unhappy with your current position in terms of work or your pathway to a future job, now's the time that you're going to put that effort into changing it. You're not going to stand for other people telling you what to do. You're not going to stand for not having the option of pursuing certain things. Like, you're very focused and you have a better knowledge of what it is that you want and what you want to go for. So I think that this conjunction is really just going to bring you that energy in order to get the career that you ultimately want, or just pursue, a goal related to that. And I do think it's going to make it possible that you are, the possibility that you can put yourself out to the public in some way in order to either make that a career, make money, or a stepping stone to further your career down the road. So let's move on to Gemini. Hi, Gemini. The Great Conjunction for you is going to be taking place in your 9th house. So you're going to be feeling pretty philosophical with everything going on, and it's going to bring you a massive understanding in not only yourself, but just you're going to have a higher understanding of things going on around you, world topics. Maybe your spirituality will change in some type of way. Maybe you'll have more interest in spirituality, a renewed interest. Maybe you've never been interested in that area of your life and now you're very curious about it. But you're going to want to grow and expand your mind and your learning in some type of way. And you may have the opportunity to teach others as well during this time. Not only is this a great time for you to learn, and I don't necessarily mean just go to school, but it's a great time for your mind to be open and to grow and to expand with knowledge. Knowledge might become more accessible to you. You might just have the drive and the energy to get more involved in learning in some type of way. Again, not just like from textbooks or something, but you might immerse yourself in, a new culture of some sort. You might get involved. You might travel. I know that's a little difficult right now, but there's an opportunity for travel. You might travel for work. You might have the opportunity to use your knowledge in order to make money. So you have a sextile with the moon in the 10th house. So again, definite possibility of taking what you've learned, especially at a philosophical or spiritual standpoint, and putting it out to the public in some type of way, having the potential to make money from that. So maybe you use social media to share your knowledge. But there's definitely this possibility that you can make money from this, that you teach others, you bring what you know in your inner learnings and you put them out into the world for others to gain from as well. So let's move on to Cancer. Hi, Cancer. So for you, the conjunction with Saturn and Jupiter will be taking place in your 8th house. So you're going to have a better understanding during this time of what you need at an intimate level, whether that's just with yourself, whether that is with a partner. You're going to have more clarity of what it is that you want, and you're not going to put up or tolerate somebody trying to tell you what you want. You will know, or you'll start to develop a better sense of what it is that makes you content and makes you feel comfortable. And you're not going to tolerate other people telling you what they want and doing what they want. You're going to be more sure of yourself and willing to stand on your own 2 feet and stand your ground with certain things. And you're going to probably have to make a decision at some point to let go of something that's been weighing you down, whether it's a bad habit, a toxic person, something along those lines. You're gonna probably go through a little bit of a cleansing of some sort, but it's only going to be to better yourself. If you're in a relationship, you might work on having a better understanding, or having your partner have a better understanding of you, having a better understanding of them at a deeper, more intimate level. I think there's going to be a lot of growth for you personally going forward, maybe even at a spiritual level. Now you have a sextile with the moon in the 9th house. So having a higher understanding of knowledge is going to be important to you. You might dive deep into something. You're going to want clarity on things. Having the wisdom is going to be important to you as well. So you might go through a bit of a transformation with this conjunction, but it's going to only teach you, and it's going to only give you a better understanding of others, of yourself, of what you want, of what is important to you, of what you hold close, of your beliefs. You're going to find a lot of value in your beliefs and stuff along those lines, and of wisdom that wherever you can find it, it's going to be important to you. Not just learning something to learn it, but of real, true, powerful wisdom that makes you move forward in life. That will be something that's important to you, and something that you will, be curious about and crave and want and desire, and be willing to accept into your life and have the energy to put into that. Let's move on to Leo. Hi, Leo. The conjunction for you will be taking place in your 7th house. And for that, you're going to want to have better understandings of what you want in your relationship. So maybe you've been a little confused or conflicted, but you're going to know yourself a little bit better, which makes it easier for you to know what you want in relationships, what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate. If you're single, you'll know better how to make yourself happy. And if you have any significant relationships, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be really close friendships, family, relationships, anybody that you're close with. That's going to be a focus for you, and you're going to have the energy to put into making those relationships better. If there has been any conflict in a romantic relationship with a friend, something along those lines, even a business partnership, you're going to be more willing to compromise on that level. You're going to want to grow, but again, you're not going to tolerate any negative behaviors from people, because you will start to understand what it is that you need, and you're going to put importance to what it is that you want and need, and not what others want and need. So maybe you've been being taken advantage of in some way, or you feel used in some way, or you just feel not listened to, like your voice isn't heard. That voice is going to come out in your intimate, closer relationships, and it's going to be able to say, hey, like, this is important to me. But at the same time, you're not going to be like, my way or the highway. You're going to be willing to compromise as well. So you have a sextile with the moon in the 8th house. So it's possible that you might, through a partnership, whether it's your significant other, a business partnership, you might benefit financially from somebody that you're very close to in some way. It could be something as simple as an inheritance. It could be that you start a business with another person, because that's definitely an opportunity that might happen to you, for you, the potential of starting a business with somebody else, and that will probably be successful in some way, even if it's just a small success. But you might get money through another person. And I'm not saying like somebody's just going to hand you money. I mean, that could happen, but there's just that potential. If you're in, a partnership, perhaps your partner gets a better paying job, something along those lines. It could be a lot of different things. But again, over this time, you're just going to feel much more comfortable expressing your inner wants and needs to the people that you are close with in your life. So now we'll move on to Virgo. Hi, Virgo. The conjunction for you is going to be happening in your 6th house, so it's going to be a really great time to focus on your health, on bettering your health, maybe eating healthier, exercising, getting into taking vitamins or something. It could be anything. It could be your mental health as well. You're going to really put a renewed energy and focus into these types of things. It's going to be on your mind. It might just be simple changes in your daily habits and routines that you focus on. Like maybe you decide to go for a jog every morning or something. But it could be a lot of different things, but your health will be a top priority, and you're going to be putting more energy into that. Again, it could just be your mental health and, giving yourself more focus on that and making sure that you're taking care of yourself. And it could be your physical health. It could be a lot of different things. Now, you also might understand more what your body needs, what your mind needs, but you could also have a better understanding of what you want work-wise. So for your job, you might start working on maybe getting a promotion, going in a different direction if you're unhappy with where you are, but you're going to be wanting to make changes so that your daily life is happier and you feel more content, and you're going to have a better feeling of how to do that. You're going to just know yourself a little bit better and know what you actually need and want, and get rid of stuff that's not working for you, and just make these small changes in order to make yourself an overall happier person. So you have a sextile with the moon in the 7th house, and you're just going to feel this newfound excitement to just better your life and yourself, and any attempt to work on your close relationships with others, whether that be your friendships, your work relationships, but especially your romantic relationships, will probably be successful. Sorry about that, my memory card filled up, so if there's been any change in visual, that is why. But anyway, so if you've had any conflict with any intimate relationships in your life, this is going to be a great time to resolve those, or decide to just, leave certain relationships in the past because they are no longer, a positive thing to have in your life. So in addition to that, you're just going to have this better understanding of how to move forward with your relationships in a positive way. Maybe you'll have a new romantic opportunity come up, or the opportunity to further an already existing romantic relationship and bring it to an even happier point, or take a new step. Now we will move on to Libra. Hi Libra, for you, the Great Conjunction is going to be taking place in your 5th house. So it's going to really inspire you to be feeling very creative during this time, expressive with your creativity, but at the same time, you're going to be practical in how you use this creativity. So it's very possible that you might have a hobby or a creative pursuit that you turn into a money-making business in some type of way, or you make money from in some way, or perhaps you just spend more time pursuing certain hobbies or creative endeavors because you've decided that would make you happier. You have more energy for those areas of your life. It's possible that you have a better knowledge of what you want in your love life romantically, whether you're single or not. You have a better knowledge of what either you want, on a self-love level, or what you want in a relationship. If you're in a relationship and you want to make changes, you will have a better understanding and more clarity of what it is you want in order to move forward. If you're single and looking for a relationship, you'll kind of know more what you want. You won't tolerate the nonsense anymore. Maybe you get more serious about dating and trying to meet new people, and you're more practical in that sense. So yes, you have excitement in that area of your life, but you're also going about it with a little bit of reserve and kind of taking your time and not jumping into anything impulsively. So in addition to that, the 5th house is the house of children. So if you work with children in any way, you have children in your life, you are a parent, you're going to have more energy and, again, like renewed sense of excitement in those areas of your life. You might have, better relationships with children in your life. You might just have better understanding of children in your life, or how you relate to children, or perhaps you have a hobby that you had in childhood and that's what you decide to pursue now. So you have a sextile with the moon in the 6th house. So again, I do think it's very possible that a creative endeavor or a hobby of yours could turn into work, turn into a career of some type. Even if you're just pursuing a hobby in order to bring happiness into your life, you're going to have more time for it, or you might set aside more time for it. So if you haven't, say you really like to sing, but you never do it because you're just constantly working, you will have this newfound zest to set aside an hour a week to just sing and, pursue that hobby. So it could be something like that, but you're going to have a better feel for what will make you more satisfied in your day-to-day life. You might switch things up a little bit, change some habits, change some of the things that you do on a daily basis in order to make yourself happier. So you're going to be feeling more content in your regular everyday life. So now let's move on to Scorpio. Hi Scorpio. For you, the Great Conjunction is going to be taking place in your 4th house. So you're going to be very focused on your home and family during this time. If you've had any issues with family members or any issues with your physical location of home, this is going to be a great time to kind of figure out what those issues are, get more clarity on them, kind of resolve them, or at least put energy into resolving them. You might just have more energy, or you might have more interest in spending time with your family. Perhaps you are looking to expand your family in some type of way, getting a new pet, having children, getting married. Like, it could be a number of different things, or maybe you are just making changes to where you currently reside. Maybe you move, maybe you put an addition on your house, maybe you renovate what you have, but you have more focus on that level. You might get into perhaps real estate during this time, because these could be things that you use in order to make money. If you do get into any of this stuff, you're going to do it on a more practical level. So You know, if for instance you're looking to expand your family and have children, you're going to really think it through, like say, you know, is this the right time to do it? Are we financially ready? Stuff along those lines. You might get involved in a small business. You might start a small business. You might dedicate more energy and time to a small business you've already been pursuing. So you may have an opportunity present itself. Just be careful not to let it pass you by because you're too practical and too restrained and like a little bit too worried. You do have a sextile with the moon in your 5th house. So again, a lot of potential to expand your family, especially with children. You know, not necessarily, but if you're somebody that is looking to get pregnant, this would be a good time for that. If you're somebody that's looking to, you know, grow your family in some type of way, this is definitely a good time for that. So there's also more understanding of any children in your life. But in addition to this, you could have a really great romantic opportunity come up for you, whether it is bettering your current relationship, being happier, being single, or maybe you are single and looking to date. You're going to have an opportunity probably present itself. You could get into a new relationship following this great conjunction. So you might also, though, be a bit guarded when it comes to your love life. So again, if an opportunity presents itself, I would suggest not jumping into anything impulsively, but not being too, you know, reserved that you're almost a little too worried to get involved in anything because those opportunities can be fleeting. Let's move on to Sagittarius. Hi, Sagittarius. The great conjunction for you is going to be taking place in your 3rd house. So knowledge is going to be very important to you. If there's something you've been putting off that you've wanted more knowledge on, it could be any number of topics, you're going to be more inspired to do that now. You know, it could be related to technology, it could be related to really anything, but you're going to want to really expand your mind. Your communication with others will probably improve around this time. You might have a better understanding of the way that you best communicate, the way to best express yourself. You're going to really be inspired and curious to dig to the truth of things. You know, the truth will be important to you at this time. Uncovering knowledge and getting past false information will be very important to you, and you're just not going to tolerate it. You're not going to tolerate being lied to. That will be something that if somebody's been lying to you a lot, you're going to kind of like be done with that following this great conjunction. So if you are working or you're, you know, in school or something and you haven't fully been able to communicate something that you want, perhaps you want you know, a promotion, for example, or, you know, you want somebody to listen to your ideas, whether it's in class, in school, whatever's going on, you're going to have more confidence in expressing that to people. So you have a sextile with the moon in the 4th house. So it's possible that when you are gathering knowledge or when you are craving knowledge, it's family knowledge, perhaps your own personal history. You might have good experiences with family members during this time, particularly a mother or a mother figure, or if you are a mother, you might have more understanding of, you know, the type of mother you want to be. Maybe you have more confidence in your own mothering, but that's definitely stuff that could come up. You could have a good opportunity in regards to your physical home. Perhaps you buy a new home, perhaps you move, perhaps if you've been looking for somewhere to live, this is the time where you finally find a good spot, you know, to live. It's possible to be more fertile during this time, so just be aware of that. But you're going to have a better time finding security in not only your place of living, but just with your family, whatever your family is to you, whether it's close friends, whether it's a pet, a romantic partner, you know, a huge, large family, whatever it is, you're going to feel more secure in that and in where you live. Now let's move on to Capricorn. Hi, Capricorn. So the great conjunction for you is going to be taking place in your 2nd house, the house of finances and security. So money's going to be on your mind and you may start to have a better understanding of it. If you've been in debt, you might work to get out of it. You might have a better understanding of how to make money and how to make money in the best way possible with the least amount of effort. You might just handle your finances in a better way. You might come up with a better budget that works for you, but money will be on your mind. And security is important to you in general. So security of your relationships, security of your actual physical home, security, you know, of your emotions. This is all stuff that you're going to have a better understanding of what makes you feel secure, safe, happy, content, loved. You'll start to work on how to balance security with the impulse of perhaps, like for instance, if we're talking about finances, you might have an impulse to overspend, but you're going to start to work on understanding, you know, no, I need to save that. I can't spend that in such a way. Or same with like you know, partnerships, emotional level, anything like that. You're going to have a better understanding of kind of how to balance impulse with, you know, being practical with these types of things. You're going to have a sextile with the moon in your 3rd house. So not only will you have a better understanding of how to handle money, but you're going to want to learn more. You know, your mind's going to be open to new ideas, and you're not going to be afraid to admit if there's something that you need further information on. Maybe there's something you don't have the knowledge on that you desire, so you admit that you would like to know more, and you teach yourself, you learn from others. But you're going to be really good, or you're going to have a better more confidence in expressing what you want and need in relationships as well. So your communication with your friendships, with your family members, with people you work with, you're going to feel more confident in expressing what you need. You know, if you've been quiet or reserved, or you're a little bit timid about speaking up about what makes you happy, your ideas, you know, wanting people to listen to you, you're going to definitely have more of a stability in that department and more confidence to do this. You know, this is a real time of stability for you, but also expansion, and you're going to be able to know what you need. Not only know what you need, but be able to communicate it to others as well. You know, this is a time of real stability, but also expansion, and you're going to have a much better understanding of what you need to feel safe, secure, happy, but not only that, you're going to be able to communicate it to others as well. So now let's move on to Aquarius. Hi, Aquarius. For you, the conjunction is going to be happening in your 1st house, so the house of you, the house of self. You know, if you have been afraid to truly express yourself in any way, shape, or form, you're going to feel a lot more confidence in doing that. You're going to have a better knowing of your own self. You're going to know what you want. You might understand what your body is telling you, for example. Maybe you've been really exhausted and your body's like, you really need to get sleep. That's something you might have a better understanding on a physical level, perhaps a mental level, but you're going to really feel like if you've been afraid to show others who you are, you've been timid about expressing either who you really are, or you just haven't really formed a complete sense of self yet, this is going to be a great time for you to really work on building your own self-confidence, building up your self-esteem, getting a better feel for what makes you happy, things that you want to do, what your body needs, what your mind needs, how to nourish yourself and grow from there. It's going to be a lot of focus on you so that you can make yourself happier in order to put a happier version of yourself in the world. You may take on a new role of responsibility during this time, like more people may depend on you with this conjunction, but you have the energy and, you know, the wherewithal, like you are more committed to that. You have the energy, like I said, to dedicate to being responsible for others, taking on more responsibility at work and school, whatever it is, for yourself, taking on more responsibility. You have a sextile with the moon in the 2nd house. So again, you're going to have a better understanding of how to handle yourself, how to express yourself, express the true you. If you've been hiding something about yourself, this is a great time to really feel better about who you are and express this to others. You might put yourself out to where you were afraid to do this before, but you're going to feel more secure about people knowing you, and you're going to feel more secure in you knowing you and you knowing how to take care of you. So if that's been a problem, you haven't been taking care of yourself, you've been neglecting yourself, this is going to be a really great time to really focus on that and focus on, you know, growing as a person and treating yourself better. So you're going to have a good balance of what you need and how to move forward to get success. And how to work with others. It's also possible that you might put yourself out there and have a financial benefit from this in some type of way. So by putting yourself out there or by expressing your ideas, your knowledge, it might bring you a financial benefit or opportunity or career opportunity in some type of way. So let's finally move on to Pisces. Hi Pisces, for you the Great Conjunction is going to be taking place in your 12th house. So this is going to be a really good time for reflection, for retreating, taking time to kind of figure out what's been working for you, what hasn't, looking back at the past a little bit to kind of use it to move forward into the future. You might just really retreat into yourself and get clarity on what you want and what you need in your life in order to bring yourself more satisfaction. You might dig deep into certain things in order to do this. You might garner more knowledge, secrets might come to light, things that have been hidden from you in some type of way, whether you've been too afraid to approach them or you just weren't aware of them, is going to be something that you will be more focused on during this time. But you're definitely going to get a better grasp of what it is that you want, what it is that works in your life, how to really have a full understanding of what makes you happy. You might be spending a lot of time working on your spirituality, your inner self, taking any negative thoughts that you've had towards yourself or towards the world in general, and working on that pessimism and kind of growing from it and learning from it, learning from previous experiences that may have been negative, and taking that and growing with it moving forwards. But I do think you'll definitely be getting breakthroughs on how to handle negativity that you've directed towards yourself in a way, that makes you happier. So you're going to be having a sextile with the moon in the first house. So you're definitely going to be developing more self-love for yourself. You're going to be growing as a person. You're going to be working on you. You're going to be working on what makes you happy. And you're going to have a better acceptance of yourself. There's going to be a lot of accepting of you moving forward. Again, you might look to the past in order to get to this point. You might have to kind of like work through some things in order to get to this acceptance, but that's going to be something that you will be working on, maybe a bit of a transformation, more self-love, self-esteem, self-confidence, loving yourself. You might overcome doubts that you've had with your own confidence, sharing who you are with other people. Again, it's going to be a time to reflect on yourself and clarity around who do you want to be, what will make you happy, how do you love yourself, and what version of yourself do you want the world to see, and how do you want others to perceive you, but also how do you want to see yourself? Do you want to see yourself in the light that you deserve to see yourself, so you're going to work on that a lot. So those are my predictions on how the Great Conjunction will affect you. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day or night.